All right. Well, welcome to the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. I'm Zarathustra. We're broadcasting live from Tulum, Mexico. Um, the topic we're going to be talking about today is actually it's one of the quotes that I wrote in my book, Lightning Notes of Zarathustra. There's 99 quotes in there, kind of like poetry, prayer, words of wisdom. And one of them says, "In the eyes of Her Majesty, Lord God, in the eyes of God, we are all beggars." So let me elaborate on that, what I mean, uh, that in the eyes of God, we're all beggars. First, I have to start with myself because quite often I may catch myself that I'm asking for something. It's like I always want something. Oh God, please uh, make today a sunny, warm day. Oh God, please give me more money. Oh God, please give me more love. Oh God, please, I hope my mom is going to be fine. Please heal my mom, heal my friend, give safe passage to my brother. Um, you know, but most of the time, the begging and asking is for myself. I want something. So I'm asking for it. And which ultimately it comes, it leads to the I thought. It goes to the me, the person that has this sense of separation. This person that appears to be me and is walking around with its begging bowl and is always asking for something, wants something. So it has that's a story. It's a narrative that is normally, if you pay attention to your own thoughts, you will discover you don't have to agree with me or disagree with me. All you have to do is discover it for yourself. And if you pay attention, you will see that almost everybody on this planet is doing the same thing. They want something. They want something from the creator. And if you watch some of the older movies from the uh, medieval time, or uh, these wars happening between the Muslims and the Christians, and the it's already gone to the war has gone to Europe, and they're fighting with each other, uh, or even today, between different ethnics, or different religious people, the wars that are happening, and then everybody's praying to their God, and everybody is claiming that God is on their side, and their God is better than the other one. So, um, so this is nothing new. It's been going on for a very, very long time. So we, as human being, always asking for something, and we're praying to a higher power, a superior power, um, for the things we want. Now, Miss Susanna, go ahead and ask me the rest of your question, or the continuation of that question.
Yeah, what can we do, or how, in which way we can, no, I once more begin. What can we change how we address our question to God, so that there maybe could be a dialogue full of love and where I'm not so
Well,
important.
hold on, hold on a second. So you mean, how can we manipulate this conversation with God that appears to be full of love, yet we're still asking for stuff? Is that what you're saying?
No. What can I do, or we all do, to come really in a state of being channel, being empty, and go in a dialogue with the Majesty,
Right.
and also to ask for people who need help.
Well, that's very noble of you, asking for also people who need help. But let's stick to the I thought. Let's stick to this part that I am someone separated from the source, because this is my experience. I don't feel one with this handkerchief, or I don't feel one with this remote control. So there is this separation, and I definitely, in 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 a human experience, I don't feel one with other people on the street. So if it comes to my territory and my assets and my benefits, I always want to protect myself, and I come first. And if you pay attention, that's the story with everybody else. Now, yeah, maybe that relationship between the mom and a child, yeah, maybe the mother is going to sacrifice herself for her child in that moment. But ordinarily, the person comes first, everybody else comes second. So, and it's a part of the way everything is designed, because this sense of separation exists in us. I mean, it's only in the apparent world it appears to be separated, but in the background it's not independent, because it cannot be independent. Nobody can exist, or nothing can exist in the universe independent from totality, because everything is a part of the totality. So an independent being separated from the rest of consciousness, or totality, doesn't exist, cannot exist. It's just not there, with the exception that it looks like, it appears to be, there is separation. And that's fair enough, because that particular sense of separation also, it's a source for your survival. Because let's say you find a deer in the woods and doesn't have the sense of separation, it's not going to last very long. Something's going to eat it, because if some kind of tiger or wolf gets close and the deer doesn't feel any kind of fear or separated, well, it won't last very long. It's going to be somebody's lunch. So, and the same thing with human beings. Uh, you don't feel like leaving your wallet, on the counter in a coffee shop, or just at the bus station, and just leaving all your money out there with your wallet. You don't do it. You protect it, you put it away, and you just keep an eye on nobody steals your wallet from you. And same thing, if you have your child, you're protecting your child. You need to make sure that your child's going to be is out of the harm's way. So naturally, we have, since this sense of separation has kicked in, normally it starts around between age 2 to 3, and that's where that sense of separation comes in, and then we become an individual, we become a person. And that's why they call it the terrible two, because it's a time that the child shifts from just pure consciousness, pure God, and suddenly becomes a person. And when it becomes a person, you have seen it. I mean, I'm not so much around kids these days, but you've seen the two kids are fighting with each other over a toy, and one says, "Nah, it's mine," and the other one says, "No, it's mine," and they're fighting or crying and elbowing each other, and then at the end, one of them gets it, and the one who gets it maybe plays with it for 30 seconds or a minute and then throws it away, because it wasn't really the toy, it was about the sense of ownership and the sense of separation that is built into our psyche and being. So there, you are a human being, you feel separated from everything else, and therefore you have this sense that you need to protect yourself from the outside world, which is fair enough. That's not an unfair thing. However, something rises and something shifts. What happens is, when you're in this place of being separated, like most of the world, you're always you're pointing your finger at other people. So anything that is not going your way in your life, you are not taking any responsibility for it. So you're pointing finger at whether your parents did something wrong to you. It's the government is not good. It's your religion. It's the other, it's the other races or ethnics or religious something. You're going to find something or someone to blame it on, because things aren't going your way. So there's this strong sense of separation and being egotistical, just being self-centered, that you are the center of the world and everything is revolving around you. And when things don't go your way, it's everybody else's fault and it has nothing to do with you. So then we refer to God, the power, and we're asking God, whatever God is, and to whatever language you're using, and however you're articulating this asking or this begging or this maybe begging, people have problems with that word, but we're always asking for something. Whether we refer it to as the Great Spirit, its consciousness, its totality, it's the big love, where if you pay attention to your own mind and the way you think, you're always asking for something. And so in order to be to not appear to be selfish, we also ask for other people's well-beings and welfare. but I come first. You come first. First, you get what you want, and then if there's leftovers, then you are willing to share it with everybody else.
Yeah, but what can I do to change this way and to go in another
so you're not selfish.
In another way where I can be selfless.
Selfless, yes. Well, the I, this I thought, I am Zarathustra, I'm Persian, I'm American, I'm a man. This I, this person, it cannot be any other way. It cannot be selfless.
So no inner attitude works.
No, there's no inner attitude you can adopt to not be selfish. There's nothing you can do about it. You come first. But then, one may ask, so what do we do? And which is very fair. The only thing that can happen, and that even is out of your control, because it's bigger than you and I, is through the grace of God, the grace of the presence that manages everything, is if the grace shows itself to you in this life, if there is a moment that you become aware of the presence of God and you become aware of the love of God in your heart, and when that veil opens up and suddenly there is an encounter with your holy self. So now the grace comes into your life. And when the grace comes to your life, I mean, it's always there, but let's say the grace opens up the veil and you enter, we call it like coming into the spiritual world. You become spiritual. Because what differs you from your sister or your brother who's, into the world and believes is only thinking with the left brain, and everything that you can touch, feel, or eat, or stuff like that is the only thing is real. The rest is bullshit. The world of the spirit, or God, or other beings, that's just a concept. They may tell you, oh, it's really nice, but they don't feel it. So once the grace comes to your life, so you're touched, and for some reason, Her Majesty, the Supreme Being, Lord God, for some reason that I don't understand, I mean, I can conceptualize it. I can say like it's in your evolutionary stage that you have become mature enough at this particular point in your life that you are being pulled into the world of the spirit. We can conceptualize it. It's a way of explaining it. But the absolute reality of it is I don't know. Because I don't work in the administration, divine administration. So I don't really know how they operate and who is qualified, who's not, who goes to the next level, who doesn't go. Those are the stuff I don't understand, and I'm not even trying to figure it out because it's beyond my human mind understanding. This kind of stuff, it's in another level. You can try to figure it out for yourself, but I don't. So for some reason or none, God appears in your life, or whatever the story is. Suddenly, maybe you're very attracted to the herbs and nature, and you're just blending in, and you're starting to find the presence and the supreme spirit into the nature, animals, herbs, or maybe you just sense like you're becoming a healer and you're having some healing energy, um, or something like today, in these days, like suddenly everybody's a life coach and everybody is on Instagram and Facebook, and they want to help other people and they want to show how other people can reach the light. So something, whether it's trendy or fashionable or not, something gets activated inside you, something awakens inside you towards the world of the spirit. And your journey begins from there. Yeah. It starts. Now, whatever that is, you're attracted to um, stones, uh, like crystals, or you get into tarot cards and you you go see a psychic and they read you, or you start working with people who do past life regressions, and then you may be taking another course that you're cutting the cords with your ancestors in order to become free, and then you're taking another course of there's like 1,000 different ones with different names. They're all available today and more than ever before. So you're getting pulled, you're coming in, depending on where you are in the evolutionary wheel. So you're being lured in. You're going to cacao ceremonies these days. It's very, very um, popular, or you're doing breath work, or you're starting to look inside. And for a lot of women, they go to various kind of workshops of women empowerments, or there's all kinds of stuff that is happening. There's like a million different things that's happening. So you're kind of getting pulled in. Now, if, again, this is a concept, but in the evolutionary wheel, let's say you're advanced, okay? So very quickly, you're going to go through the elementary school, and you will finish your high school. You'll just, a lot of the stuff which is available, and I'm not saying anything is bad or good. I'm not putting any of these schools or teachers uh, down or up, um, or uh, I'm not making any proclamations in that way, but there are steps that you're going to have to go through. Okay. So, and today there's a lot of blah, 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 but you have to weed it out. You're going to go through weeding these things out and check out all these different teachers and teachings and see which one you really resonate with. And you start, you may just get into like psychotherapy. You're looking at your shadow part, you're working on yourself, you've been traumatized, you're dealing with your childhood traumas. And uh, there's a lot of schools of spirituality which is directing you to deal with your traumas and stuff that happened in your childhood. So you kind of have to go through these stuff. It's a process of, we can call it purification, maybe, purifying. It's like you put a piece of ribeye steak on on your barbecue and it's got a lot of fat and it's cooking and the fat is melting. So, and you kind of have to go through this process of purification. And probably in this process that you're going through, you're going to have some traumatic events happen to you. Because it appears to be when traumatic events happen to you, your exhilaration process to awakening speeds up. And there's a saying, it says, we go to the spirit when our foundation is shaken, only to find out that it is the spirit who shakes it. So we awaken, we go towards God when something normally bad, we call it bad, traumatic happens in our life. Let's say, my sister dies, suddenly from something. And then I start questioning the existence of God. Before that, I had no belief in any of these things. Or I go bankrupt and I start questioning. Instead of committing suicide, I start questioning myself. Or let's say, excuse me, my love, my life, my love of life, she dumps me and goes with another man. And I start, or having a car accident or something traumatic. I'm not saying necessarily something traumatic must happen in your life, okay? But normally we get traumatized or something shocking happens maybe once or more than once in our lives. And something gets activated, something awakens inside us. And when this awakening happens, the seeking begins. Because we notice that there is a power, something much greater than us, that is operating. And it arises our curiosity. We become curious. We want to know, what is it that interfered? Let's say my beloved wife or girlfriend or sister has stage 4 brain tumor and suddenly she heals, or I suddenly heal from near death experience, suddenly I just heal. Or let's say I'm full on alcoholic and drug addict, and suddenly I don't have any tendencies in drinking alcohol and doing drugs. And then a mechanism, something awakens inside me, is like, how the hell did this happen? This was like divine interference, that something shift. And then in this transaction, that awakening, something activated, I'm awakening, there's this noticing and feeling that there is something greater than me here. Something's at work. And then maybe through this activation, a thought comes and you ask yourself, well, who am I? Or where do I come from? Or where was I before I was born? Where was I before I was born? I'm so occupied with being here. But where was I before I was here? What happened? I just like boom, I just happened to be here. But I mean, what is my background? Or where am I going to go after this thing is over? Where's the next station? Religion says you go to hell or you go to heaven. So, uh, but so these questions begin to rise. I mean, what is this God they're talking about? I mean, who made God, and where is God, and what is its limitations? What about the space? How far this space, when I look up, let's say, even if I'm in a shuttle that can travel beyond the speed of light, I mean, how far does it go? Where does it go? Who created it? How did it all come to be? How is this sophisticated machine, my body, which is unbelievable? I mean, the way it works. How did this happen to come and to function? Because it's the most fascinating thing. We don't pay attention to it. We go to wars and we're killing a lot of other people, as if this is worthless. But it's such a marvel, such a sophisticated mechanism that most of the time it works perfectly. So how did this happen to come? And it's like, who made this? And there's even the modern medicine in 21st century, with all our advancements, we only know maybe 10-15% if of human body. We don't know the rest of it. It's like it's so sophisticated that we have no idea. So, or going into the oceans, or the nature of how this planet, living on a ball suspended in something called space. So you're living on this thing. How come it's not falling down? The planet Earth? How come it's not colliding with anything else? How come it's sustaining itself? How is this happening? Like, this planet has been sustaining itself ever since the ever since. It's supporting all kinds of different lives, from bacteria, viruses, to human beings, animals. And no matter how much we're damaging it and dumping shit into it or destroying the environment, it's here. Now, how is this sustaining itself? It's just, there's so much that the human mind doesn't understand. The I thought. I, as an individual, as a person, trying to, with this limited mind, understand the nature of the infinite, understanding it. So then, maybe in some cases, then the grace comes in whatever form, maybe in a form of a guru, the form of a entity, whatever, angel, in a dream. Anyway, the grace comes in our lives and kind of like pushes us to look inside. Now, journeying within ourselves, where now we're looking inside. And maybe this teaching appears in our lives, because right now on this planet, most of the teachings are outside. You look for answers outside. You're learning how to manipulate the world outside so things go your way. You're manifesting this, you're manifesting that. You're looking at your traumas and you're working on that. You are clearing up your past lives, actions, or future connections, whatever. But these are all in the outside world. They're objects. They're, they're thoughts, they're words, or they're actions. But they're objects. All of your thoughts are objects. Whatever you think, it's an object. Because you are able to see your thoughts or hear them, and they come and go. They're not there all the time. Like right now, you have the ability to think of, let's say, I want to think about a cup of coffee. So I think of coffee, cup of coffee, and I have a coffee cup. I can see a coffee cup or a coffee bag. It's an object that I'm able to think about or visualize. But it's outside of me. I mean, it appears that I'm thinking about it inside of me, but this object comes and goes. This thought is not always here. So it appears and it disappears. So it falls into the world of the objects. Or my emotions, they come and go. They're not always there. I don't get up every morning feeling super excited about life and feeling great. I don't wake up every morning feeling depressed. I don't wake up every morning being sad or being happy. Some days I wake up in the morning and I feel great. Some days I wake up in the morning and feel like shit. The emotions, they come and go. They're not there all the time. So then they become objects too. And definitely this meat is continuously changing. It's changing from one thing to another thing. So, and I've been observing the meat changing throughout all these years. So this is another object passing through. So then we get to this point that we begin to look inside. More, we go deeper inside. And then maybe we're lucky and we investigate this me, this thought. I am this. I am white. I am black. I am Christian. I'm Jewish. I'm Indian. I'm a man. I'm a woman. This me. So you begin to examine the me, the I thought, which has never been investigated. Because this me is always looking at its, my thoughts, oh, my emotions, oh, my body, oh, my finances, my friends, my love. I'm heartbroken, I'm happy. But this me who is attaching itself, this thought of me that always attaches itself to something, has never been investigated. So there's a point in our evolution, maybe in this life or whatever, that suddenly the teaching comes, or the master or the grace, the teaching comes to investigating the source. Who is this me, this I, who doesn't like this and doesn't like that, who's thinks it's hurt or thinks it's heartbroken or it's happy or it's sad? Who is this guy? Who is this one? And then when you start to investigate it, you realize this me, this I, or you want to call it ego, or this thought of me being separated from everything else, is actually is the beggar. It's also a beggar. It's always begging. It's never 100% satisfied, because, okay, people ask me sometimes, oh, Zarathustra, are you happy? And but happiness, I say, yeah, I'm happy when things go my way. Things are really going my way and I get the things I want, I'm happy. But when things don't go my way, I'm not happy. And that's the nature of the I, the person. Because its happiness is a relative. This me, this I thought that comes out, its happiness is related to whether things go its way or they don't. And this is the one who is praying and asking for security, for happiness, for love, for money. This one is the one that feels lonely, one's doesn't want to be alone, doesn't want to be left out. Uh, it's got serious fears of being abandoned, uh, serious fears of loneliness and other things, and serious fear of death, that thinks it's going to die and it will vanish. So there's nothing you can do about this one in its relationship to God, uh, because, yeah, it can create some cunning languages of uh, wanting things. It's always wants something. But if somehow we're able to go around it and recognize it, which for a moment we can try right now, is then if you are able to go beyond your mind, and then where you go is you go into this silent place inside yourself. It's really still and it's really silent. And over there, if you're sincere and you're really looking, then there is no me. This I, this me, is not there to be asking for anything. So it's not even a question of me, how am I going to be more loving towards God or not being selfish, asking for stuff. Is you just got rid of this I by going around it. And then there is no question. There's no relationship. And we can examine it. I know it may be a little bit confusing to some of you, but just be patient, because and if you just feel like you're not 100% getting it, it's okay. If something's clicking, just have patience. And so one good way is very simple, super simple way, is to trace your thoughts. You just look at your thoughts and you trace them back inwards, and just see, like, where do these thoughts come from? So if I just go in there and I trace them back inside, and I'm following my thoughts, and then suddenly there's no thoughts. They disappear. Let's check it out together for a moment. occasionally maybe you have one thought or two come and travel through. It's okay. It's like a couple of birds flying in the sky. So you can, in a very easy and gentle way, there is an understanding of if we can go beyond the mind and go back here by not like trying to force the mind to become quiet, because that doesn't work, because we're using the mind to become quiet. But if we shift our attention from being so involved with our thoughts all the time and being involved with our emotions, and shifting for a moment, if you just 1 to 3 seconds, if right now you can simply identify with the awareness that you are, the awareness, the background of your thoughts and emotions, rather than being involved with them. You're just simply for one moment looking at them. You're aware of your emotions. Your emotions do not stop. You're not going to not feel. This teaching, this system is not aiming at being able to create and manipulate a situation that I always feel good. I mean, such a thing is impossible, because this is what we want to do. I mean, I want to do too, to maximize the amount of pleasure that I get in this life and minimize suffering. And I'm looking for techniques and practices that I can accomplish that, which is fair enough. The only problem is it doesn't work. I mean, I can practice all day long and using all these different techniques, but its effect is very short term, maybe for a week or two or a month. It sustains itself, but then it falls apart. But if I'm able to shift my identification from this person, this me, this I thought, this me who wants this and thinks it's separated. If I shift my identification to the awareness of this person, I am aware that there is a character here who wants a lot of pleasure. And also, it has to deal with suffering. If I become the awareness of it, then peace comes. I don't necessarily gain any powers of manipulating things to go my way. I simply are identifying as the awareness of feeling good and feeling bad. Simply being aware of it rather than being the person who's up and down. And maybe for some of you, it's kind of like confusing. Uh, it takes time to recognize it, but it's much easier to go beyond the mind to identify with the background, like remembering that I am the blue sky and I'm always blue. Now, clouds, storms can come and go through me. That means there are moments in my life like it's chaotic. My mind wants to go crazy. Everything is falling apart. Okay, I'm aware of it. I stay in the awareness place. But my body is suffering and my mind is suffering. It's like a big storm passing through the sky. There's nothing you can do about it. Nobody can do anything about a huge storm passing through the sky. So you cannot stop the storm. But once the storm is gone, the blue sky remains the blue sky. So what I'm saying is, in reality, we are the blue sky. We're awareness. We're this background. This body appears in this background. This mind with these emotions, they appear in the background. The background is here, they appear, and then they disappear. If you switch your identification, then peace will come. You begin to recognize that you are peaceful, you're still, and you're silent. The truth of who you are. Then things become apparent. When they're happening, when turmoil is happening inside you, you have to experience it. There's no way. But you don't buy into it anymore. You are aware of it, but you don't buy into it that this is your identity and you have to fix this. You're simply stay in the background. You allow yourself to experience it, and then it goes away. And that's much easier way than trying to fix things. However, it does require a certain spiritual maturity to come to this place. And existence will provide that. Existence is leading you to the right place. I didn't realize an hour went by and I was talking. I'm sorry, I didn't give you a chance to ask questions. I mean, if anybody has any questions, feel free.
I
Yeah.
just have I don't
Yeah.
even know if it's a question or just a comment. I've been struggling with, I usually don't listen to the news as much or get involved because I'm typically a very emotional person. But with what's happening in Iran, I was pulled into it just from a very internal place because I have connection to the land. That's where I'm from.
Right.
And today I've been practicing silence mostly, except right now.
Right.
And I feel like that's the only way I've been able to kind of regain my center.
Yes.
But there's that feeling of anger, hurt, feeling invisible to the world, seeing people that act like they're humanitarians completely silenced in this. So there's a lot of questions, and I feel like I went through so many emotions and there was no answer. And I'm hoping something just told me you need to just stay in silence and just shut everything out for a little bit, and the answer will come to you. I just don't like that feeling of hurt and anger and resentment, especially towards the whole world.
Right.
So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Uh, I you have. I mean, in a way, you have to be numb or a robot, not feel and care. Of course, during this past 2 weeks, conflicts and the demonstrations and all the stuff have been going on in Iran, and me too, having Persian Iranian background. Of course, I'm watching the YouTube commentaries from different channels, and of course, you can't not feel. Of course you feel. I mean, if you're numb and you don't feel, then there is something wrong. So I'm, especially if it's you're connecting with it. Yeah, if something like this is happening, I don't know, in Timbuktu, I may just not feel anything or not feel any connection to it naturally. So uh, it's very fair. However, and I had like I was doing my Farsi uh, Instagram uh, broadcast, and I had some people writing to me like, "Aren't you Iranian? Why don't you say anything? Why you're talking about silence or meditation? What's wrong with you?" And I just most of the time I don't get into it, but I just explain to one person that this is a platform regarding higher consciousness and awakening to the truth of who we are. This platform is about self-awakening and discovering inner peace. It's not a political platform, and it doesn't matter what I think about what's my opinion politically about different governments in the world. It's not important what I think. It's irrelevant because we all have our own ideas and opinions. This platform is to create a situation to share this peace that's been discovered. So, because ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't care what kind of spirituality we're practicing or what kind of religion we have. At the end of the day, there's one thing that is the most important thing to all of us. Any human being anywhere, good, bad, evil, angel, it doesn't matter. We all want to be happy. Everybody wants to be at the end of the day happy. Now, what is the definition of happiness? Of course, I realized that material objects only bring me short term happiness. It's not like they can bring comfort and they can bring temporarily happiness, but it doesn't last very long. What I always wanted, which I didn't know how I call it, is inner peace. That I am not in conflict with myself. And that's gold. If you can find a way to come to peace with yourself, then you're going to find peace with your environment too. But that doesn't come from trying to change the world. It's coming from changing myself. So that's where it starts and that's where it ends. Anything else? Anybody else would like to share or question you have? No? Well, go ahead. Yes, Susanna.
Very short, thank you. You didn't give a direct answer, but the answer is if I'm in stillness, if I'm in pure love, I don't need a prayer because everything is fine and it's absolute pure how it is.
Yeah, the prayer is to the I thought, the person who thinks is separated.
Yes.
Is praying to an imaginary higher being that is separated from itself. You know? So both are two illusions because there is no separation. I'm not separated from God, neither are you. And to whom then am I praying? Because I am created by that same power that has created you and has created everything else. And is that power is breathing through me every moment. And that same power is thinking through me and feeling through me and touching. So to whom am I praying? And for what? That same thing that has created the entire world absolutely knows my needs. So it is only this illusion of separation, this me, this I thought, this I who feels separated is praying to this supreme being to get what it wants. So that part of it is imaginary. It's not, it just doesn't exist. It's happening in this dream, but both sides are the same.
Yes.
Right.
Thank
so,
you.
And let me make an announcement and then we can talk. So if somebody wants to leave, they can go. We're in the process of within, I think, 5-6 days, where my schedule for my European tour is going to be announced. So at this moment, 2 countries are confirmed. I'm going to Norway in March, from I think the 10th to the 16th, and then of March from 17th to 22nd, 23rd, I will be in Częstochowa in Poland. Now, anything else we add on? Maybe Germany, Frankfurt gets add on to it, which I will be putting it on my website. So the schedule of my tour is going to be put out hopefully in next 5 days. Just in case if you are in any of these countries or you have a desire to join us, I'm be very happy to meet you in person. I know some of you beloveds here at our academy. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Of course, there's some people watching these broadcasts from different channels, so I hope we get a chance to meet each other. That's one thing. And then secondly is I'm offering my life training program again. It's a tailor-made one-on-one program that I have, that I will be working with you for 8 weeks. And the program is designed for your needs. And whether it's regarding working through some obstacles, or you feel stuck, or you have a desire for higher consciousness, or it's something relating healing that you like to learn, whatever that is, you can bring it to me and we can design a program tailor-made to your specific needs. For that, you're welcome to send me an email, info@zarathustra.tv. We recently sent an email that I've opened this again and I'm available, and feel free to reach out. We're also putting it out on our social media, but the best way is to send me an email. My website is zarathustra.tv and social media is Zarathustra5D. Inshallah, God willing, if everything goes well and there's internet and there's electricity, next Thursday I will have our next academy. I'm planning on broadcasting every Thursday until I go to Europe. Hi, Monica. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome back. Hi, Hilda. Yeah. So very nice seeing you. If there's any other questions or sharing.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for showing up, sending you lots of love and light, and just come back to your heart and don't fall into, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, it's just a suggestion. I try not to watch the news very much, and when I watch it, I don't take it very seriously. And because I notice all it does, it just acts, it's good to be aware, but a lot of it is lies, a lot of it is fabricated. Uh, I don't know what to believe. Uh, a lot of times I find out what is really happening somewhere is completely different than what the media are presenting. And all it does, it activates my mind. And then I can't sleep at night. I'm just having nightmares, and or it creates anxiety. So it doesn't really help the goal of achieving inner peace. It works against.
That's the opposite.
It's the exactly. It
Yes.
drags you into the world of duality,
Yeah.
because then there's the others, and they're dangerous and they're there to get you, and that's what it does. But again, that's a part of the play. That's a play. We entered in this dimension, the third dimension, and you can't have one without the other. It's impossible. And no matter how high you go, you're going to have to come back. And no matter how big periods of great time you have, there's also going to be times of being sick or heartbroken. They all come together. You cannot have one without the other. So knowing that, understanding this part of this dimension we're in, then our sanctuary is to connect with our true nature, which is the awareness of feeling good and feeling bad. Not being the one who's feeling good and bad, is just simply being aware of it. And then eventually you find that you have found separation and you find this deep inner peace within yourself. Or another language is like your vibration starts to rise to a higher frequency, because you're quiet inside. You don't speak very much, you don't think very much, you're not reacting, you're still. And then the quality of your life changes automatically without even trying. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. A copy of this broadcast will be emailed to you. So I look forward to connecting with you next week. God bless.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice seeing you all. Good to see you, Monica. Hold on a second. Let me turn off these other channels. Stay there. Stay there. Just stay there for one moment.
Yes. What did